Both.
Wow. Talent, dude.
It's all right there.
Pretty good. Good stuff.
Phone does all the work.
Hi, my name is Tyler Winning, and this is my informative speech. Motocross is a demanding sport that takes place on a closed track consisting of both man-made obstacles and natural terrains. The history of motocross is continually argued and is believed to have originated from motorcycle street racing. On the Motocross America webpage, Ed Youngblood, a well-respected motocross writer, wrote this year, and I quote, "American motocross can be traced back to England's first scramble, which took place in March of 1924. The racers of this time period sought out new challenges and took their racing off-road, giving the rise to the sport of motocross as we know it. Since then, motocross has come a long way with technology, regulations, and above all, popularity. Being a successful motocross racer comes when a rider earns his or her spot as a professional racer. To become a successful motocross racer takes tons of training, money, and devotion. Motocross is unlike many sports and takes a large investment just to get started. Money is a huge issue as this sport is overwhelming with expenses. There are different types of dirt bikes, but the one necessary for racing motocross is a great deal of money. These new bikes can cost anywhere between $5,000 and $7,000, and they require year-round maintenance. Oil changes of brake and motor oil, which happen a few times a year, cost upwards of $30. A single tire change is $90, and the fuel used to run these bikes is a race fuel, which costs upwards of $10 a gallon. Even when the bike is purchased, the purchase is complete, the rider must equip themselves with the proper safety equipment in order to be allowed on the track. A helmet, neck brace, and boots are a few things, along with goggles, jersey, chest protector, knee braces, and gloves that are all part of the motocross uniform. Once the bike and gear are in order, race and track fees start to come into play. There are many different registration processes that you must go through in order to be allowed to race. Signing up with the American Motocross Association, you'll sign up for your district card, which is where you live and tells where you can race. To get an MDRA card, which is a basic registration. All these registrations cost between $30 and $75 a piece, and once registered, you can begin racing. Going to the track, being allowed on the property costs upwards of $10 a person, even if you're not racing. And to be in a race costs $30 per race, and is not normal to only do one race per day. It seems like once you get the bike, gear, and registration, it's the time to get on the bike and race, but that is simply not the case. Training is one of the most essential parts to becoming a motocross racer. The first challenge in training is learning how to ride your bike. Once you learn how to ride your bike, you find out how it handles and the power it gives out, which can take years to master. Once you learn that, you can begin your real training. Off-bike training is roughly about 80% of the work involved in racing motocross. The other 20 is spent on the bike. Since motocross is considered one of the most physically, if not the most physical demanding sports in the world, strength and endurance are very prevalent. This 230-pound motorcycle is extremely difficult to handle in the rough conditions of the track. There is constant changing terrain, and the extreme heat of the summer is exhausting on any rider's body. Endurance is specialized over muscle strength, and according to RacerX, a virtual trainer published in 2010 by Ally Sports, motocross training should focus on core muscles, the back, and endurance, opposed to other sports which focus on intensive muscle building. The on-track training, otherwise known as seat time, is the best way to master and hone your motocross skills enough to begin racing. Riding is in fact the only way to learn how to race. But in this sport, practice never makes perfect. It is seen by many races, both amateur and professional, mistakes happen and people always get hurt. A rider's first experience on a real track will immediately tell whether or not motocross is a sport for them. But once hooked, there is no going back. In no way, shape, or form is it possible to become a successful motocross racer if you're not completely devoted to the sport. Year-round training in the gym and on the track is completely essential. Your social life and regular normal life can be completely restricted. As Donnie Bales tells in his book, Pro Motocross and Off-Road Riding Techniques, he tells about the sacrifices made by some of the greatest racers in history. He retells the stories of some of the greats, including Ricky Carmichael, Justin Barcia, and even Brian Doyle, on how they were self-taught and homeschooled in order to focus in on nothing else but becoming a professional motocross racer. Devoting your life to motocross also means devoting your body. There's many dangers and risks involved. Breaking bones and tearing ligaments are very common, and paralyzation and death are readily evident. Devoting your life to motocross is the only way to make it to the pros, but in no way is it a guarantee. Motocross is unlike any other sport. The thrills and joys of motocross do not come easy, but the rewards outweigh the troubles. The time, money, and devotion are just a few things that play a huge role into racing motocross. The sport of motocross is increasingly demanding, and its popularity continues to grow daily. While motocross can be enjoyed as a leisure activity for the weekend warrior riders, becoming a successful and professional racer takes more effort than most people are willing to give. That's it.
Oh yeah.